people coming to this country and coming to other countries are people.
But we are also a nation of laws.
Right.
All right, man.
What's
How's
up,
it going?
fools?
Good seeing you, man.
What it is, man? How you doing?
All right, all right.
You look like you've been working out, man. I just felt a little something. How you doing?
Doing all right, busy. Life keeps you running back and forth,
Sure.
and so, I start out early in the morning.
That's what I heard,
so,
man.
yeah.
I heard you one of those early risers. You like the military.
I mean, if I sleep till 5 o'clock, I feel like my day's wasted, man.
You have done more before 6 a.m. than most people do all day.
Yeah.
You're one of those kind of people.
Yeah, I'm early. I go to bed early, too. So.
I think that's good.
So what are you going to antagonize me over with this time,
I'm
man?
going to beat you to a
Oh,
pulp.
look at those muscles, man. I don't want to get in a slugfest.
I'm working on my guns, man. I'm trying to be around here a little longer than you. But here's what we're talking about today. Everybody is on this subject. Immigration.
Oh, yeah, I know.
4 words.
Yeah, immigration. I know. Well, but to me, I don't know. Outside of wacko, right-wing,
There we go.
racist,
Here we go.
who is against immigration? Who's against immigration?
I think it works.
Yeah, but the question of legal and illegal
Now
immigration, that's a separate issue.
That's
but
where we diverge
but
right there.
the question, the moment somebody says they're against illegal, my daughter-in-law is from Mexico, okay, legally, but the moment somebody says they're against illegal immigration, oh, they're racist, they're bigots, they're this, they're that, and so and so. We got it.
Okay, so let's talk about. So Cliff, can we separate a little fact from fiction?
Well, go ahead. If you got all the facts, and I guess we're going on the assumption
We're going on the
that
assumption
you have all the facts and I've got all the fiction.
No.
Well, why change now?
I'm pretty sure I got some fiction.
Yeah,
but here we go.
Why change now? Come on. Anyway, go ahead. Go ahead.
Is immigration a net plus for the nation?
Of course. Again, of course it is. It's always been.
It's a good thing.
It's always been.
So here's some things you never hear about this debate.
Okay.
Right?
Go ahead.
40% of all Fortune 500 companies were started by immigrants.
I can believe it. I don't have a problem with that.
In 2016, 50% of all businesses valued at $1 billion or more
Started by immigrants. Well, yeah,
right?
Cool.
So very entrepreneurial, do their
Let me ask
thing.
you a question. All right, brilliant, and I'm thrilled, and it's the beauty of America, and my family is here. But how many of those immigrants were illegal immigrants?
Yes.
Did they tell you that? Did they tell you that? Maybe they all were. And maybe they all were.
We need to honestly say there's a difference between legal.
Yeah, and I think that's all people are saying. That's all people are saying on this.
But I think
all right, there are some racists out there. I agree. Look, my daughter-in-law is from Mexico, okay? But she came here
Send her
legally.
back.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. Right? But,
see, you're putting words in everybody's mouth.
But there are people who are ready to curtail even legal immigration.
Yeah.
You got a problem with that.
Listen, I remember I was coming back. I was downtown D.C. a while back, and I saw a sign. Some woman had her kid in a carriage, baby carriage with a big sign, "Stop Trump's racist immigration." But I felt like saying, hey, listen, the history of American immigration is in many ways the history of American racism. Okay, you think it stopped now.
Okay,
how do you think they did with the Chinese?
I'm just
with
saying,
the Irish, with the Italians, the Jews.
We have rarely ever done it without racism at some part of it.
They were killing Jews in Europe. Remember the story of the St. Louis? Boatload of Jews. The Americans wouldn't let them in. So this whole idea that suddenly now anybody that's against or against illegal immigration, they're racist. Well, maybe that's true, but it's not that just didn't start. It's been here from day one.
It's been here.
And you think other countries aren't doing the same thing? And I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's good.
All around this planet, this is an issue today. We've got migrant flows, we got refugee flows.
Oh, yeah.
And legal immigration, I think, is a net benefit.
Yeah,
illegal immigration. here's another fact. Here's another fact.
Because you could argue the Pilgrims were
majority-
illegal immigrants. The Pilgrims. Ask American Indians about
Did they invite
illegal
them?
immigration.
Did they give them a visa to come?
Yeah,
No,
ask about
they just
that.
came, right?
Yeah, all right.
But when we talk about immigration, and especially when we talk about illegal immigration, we tend to talk about people flowing to the border, at least right now.
Sure.
But the majority of illegal immigrants in this country,
Yeah.
U.S. is what we're talking about,
Yeah.
are people who overstayed their visas.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
They came here.
I know, and it's
they
tough to
overstayed.
how to-
We don't talk about that.
Yeah.
Instead, we talk about walls.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's a difficult issue, and somehow, what is the sense of having laws if we're not going to follow the laws? We want to make the laws humane. We want to make the laws just. We want, and people.
But
are
that
gonna
humane
slip
part
through
is like going out the window right now.
Well, I don't.
humane? Why are we taking? Okay, here's
go
the
ahead.
thing. I was talking to my son about this thing, and I asked him. I said, "Man, by the way, people are going to look at me. They're going to hear me today. Wearing
think-
you out, and they're going to think that liberal.
That's right. That liberal, that wacko
Liberal,
lefty.
wacko lefty.
You saying it, not me. You're
I'm
saying
just
it,
that's how
not
I'm gonna
me.
get credit. I want to
Well,
just
you're
say
more
for the
honest.
record,
Yeah.
I am a registered independent.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
go where the righteousness leads.
Okay.
I'm a man of faith.
Okay.
I'm not trying to be left or right. I go
Okay.
where I
Oh,
feel right is.
You're right.
My thing is this, and I think you're the same way.
Sure. Yeah.
Why do we have to be inhumane?
Well,
Why do we need to take children from parents?
Well, I don't think we should, and I think they're trying to stop it. It's not.
gotta stop that, though.
Yeah.
Like, I have
it's
moral-
bad.
just natural
it's bad.
moral outrage.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I don't think
There's something wrong
anybody
with that.
wants that. Anybody wants it, but I don't know what's going on at the border with the absolute chaos and the overcrowding, and so I don't think
And that's a
anybody's-
legitimate issue.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's really trying to be inhumane. There are going to be some schmucks that are going to be that way.
No.
But in the
Cliff,
end,
I can't give
in
you
the
that.
end-
I
yeah,
can't
in
give
the
you
end,
that.
yeah.
Because he said, the president said, and his administration, our policy for discouraging people from coming is to let them know you're going to be separated from your kids.
Well,
and be held separately.
I would have a problem
And I got
with
a
that.
major issue with
Yeah,
that.
fair enough.
So for me, I think we've got to enforce the laws. So you can't have a border that's just porous and people come and go.
Yeah, somehow you got to find some way to deal with it.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah, and I don't think it's easy. But go ahead.
No, it's not easy. Cliff, what would a humane policy even look like? Like if we wanted to value people, because I think we should value people.
Well, in the
even
end,
if
the whole issue is how we treat people, and and being having a Christian attitude towards what's happening, but how you ultimately deal with it, that's the tough one. How do you be kind and loving, and at the same time, look, laws are laws,
Yes.
And so how do you strike a balance at the same time?
How about this? Is amnesty too loving? Let's say we got somewhere between 10 to 12 million illegal immigrants in the nation.
Sure.
So how are we going to deport 10 to 12 million people, many of whom have children that are American? Are we going to deport them? Or do we have to offer some kind of naturalization
that's I
process?
think that everybody realizes they got to do something in keeping these people in the shadows. But then at the same time, what do you do about the millions? Let's talk about fairness. What about the people who try to go through the system and are trying to do it?
And that's right.
And then they're getting pushed aside. So it's.
But this is not. If we could put people on the moon, though, surely we could figure this out.
Sure.
And I'm wondering, why has it taken so long for Congress to do anything on this subject?
Well, you tell me.
And I feel like people,
don't your demis run Congress now?
I'm not a demi. See,
Oh yeah.
But
you sure sound like one. But that's fine. But look, even when the Republicans had it, when the Democrats had it, it didn't matter.
Still don't get
if
a
the
solution.
president was Democrat, the Republican didn't solve it. If the Republican, the Democrat didn't solve it.
But then the question has to become, who is benefiting from this system as it is? Who's benefiting?
Oh, I don't know. Is
Corporations that get free labor.
Oh, yeah.
People who stay.
Well, the poor are always going to be exploited by the rich. That's, and that is something that's bad, But how to ultimately solve it, what would God have us do? What would God have us do in terms of having to deal with these?
Please.
Well, I don't know. He would want us to treat people nicely.
I think so.
But at the same time, we would, people are just going to come to the borders. Anybody that wants to come in and just storm.
But if they come, if they come legally seeking asylum, which is what the majority of them are doing. Okay, let's put them in our processes we've had. Can we host families for long periods at the border? Probably not. We got to find a way.
What are we going to do? Yeah.
But please don't put them in cages.
Yeah.
And can they have a toothbrush?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, again, if it's over, if we don't have the resources, if there's so many coming in.
But I'm never going to accept that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you could be right. So again, I don't know enough about what's going on down there. I mean, I don't know. And you certainly can't tell me you believe everything you read in the press.
No, I don't.
Of course not.
No,
Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
The press. We have corporate press.
Yeah.
We have press that's about advertising revenue and money.
Yeah. Press is about making money.
And they love a controversy and they put extra mustard on the salt on the sandwich. They do everything possible to keep eyeballs right there, right?
Yeah, okay.
But I think even as people of faith and people who believe, even if the government does not do what we think it should, we can be a blessing to immigrants and migrants and people.
But regardless of that, we can help people. The church should be doing more than it's doing. There's no question.
They're migrants
about that.
I'll tell you something that my church did. Church I attend.
Okay.
Right next to us is a mosque.
Okay.
Right.
Sure.
And there was a period of time when there was like an anti-Islam fervor kind of going through and these people were, they were afraid. They really felt that tension.
I can understand.
And part of our responsibility was to, in a sense, support and stand in the gap
for them. Did you help them? Did you help them?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, good.
In fact, we reached across. We had exchanges of our clergy. We talked to them. Just so that they could know, okay, we have solidarity with you in your right to express your faith as you see fit. So on the border, and in other places, there's stuff we can do.
No,
you don't have to.
I think truly the church and humanitarian organizations should step in and do more, but at the same time, something needs to be done.
It needs to be fixed.
But even the wacko press would finally admit there's a crisis
there is a
at
crisis.
the border. And the crisis is the humanitarian thing.
Yes.
What do you do with these people?
Yes.
How And the question too, my understanding, and again, I don't follow this that much because I don't know who to believe, and I don't believe 90% of what I read, and the 10% I do believe is probably a lie anyway. So
you're a little cynical. You
You think so? But again,
with
aren't they supposed to go to seek asylum in the first country they go to?
Well, they do now.
Yeah.
That never used to be the law. But now, but now that's a directive. It's being tested in court.
Yeah. Well, maybe they need to, because just to try to stem the flow. Try to stem the flow.
I get that.
See, that's different than separating parents from their children. That's bothersome. I'll agree.
Here's something else that bothers me. A lot of the people coming to our border, brown people, we had a lot to do with destabilizing their countries when they were on the way to democracy, man.
Oh, come on.
They voted.
Come on. There's some truth to that.
I'm not saying that's the whole thing.
There's some truth in some cases, but somehow you're in this blame America.
I'm not going to blame America.
Poor people in Latin America, their countries are impoverished because of me. Me right here. I made those people impoverished. Come on.
When they vote for somebody, you undermine them and a dictator
we've done that.
Interrupts that country's development.
Chile, oh my God, we killed the guy. But you can't blame overthrowing Allende in Chile for thousands of Hondurans coming up here now. Come on.
But I can blame us for some of that stuff.
Oh, well, yeah. Blame America first. Get this guy. Take him with me.
Get him out of here.
Take him out. Okay. All right. Thanks.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. You got something edible to eat?
Something good. Something really good. Hey guys, so it's after lunch. Just had lunch, ate well, had a great discussion talking about this issue of immigration with my buddy Cliff. Cliff is nuts, but I love him. He's going to say the same thing about me. But this issue is more than just banter. It has a very serious core responsibility and care that I think that we should take with it. One, we should always remember that people coming to this country and coming to other countries are people. They're real people, and that they have real challenges in their lives, and there's real suffering in the world. I believe we're called not just to be worried about caring for ourselves. We're called to also be a community that provides shelter for each other. In fact, it's a beautiful book I love called The Shelter of Each Other that talks about how we care for one another in times of crisis. And those people are our brothers and our sisters. I think something else that's important is don't allow media to inflame you on one side of the issue or another. Many times, there are people who have agendas that have nothing to do with even the actual issue being talked about. For some people, the issue is really just money. This is a way for them to get advertisers and inflame the public and keep your eyeball watching. So be careful about how media may manipulate this situation. The other thing I would say is that's critical is see what you can do. All change is always micro before it's macro. It's always one person taking a step. So the stranger that's next door to you, the immigrant family that's in your neighborhood, do what you can to protect, to shield them, to watch over them, and be a blessing to them. I think that's what God calls us to. I'm a man of faith, so that's how I see it. I feel like part of my responsibility is to love people. And if we love people, we can never lose.